Okay, what I'm messing with today is an Aruze Genx, and I'm going to do a RAM clear with a game swap. So, first thing I'm going to do, so that I don't forget it later, is I'm going to go ahead and turn my key into the reset position, open up my unit. As you can tell, it's powered off. I'll open up my box. Most of you will have a screw that you'll unscrew from right here, and I'll open up your brain. And I'm going to take out my old game. Set that down. And take my new game cartridge and slap it up in here. Get a nice snug fit for it. Okay. Leave this open, and everything is just as you see it. But you leave the brain open, leave the door open, and all that. And go ahead and turn her on. As I said, reset key is in the reset position. Turn the power on. And I'm waiting for her. There she is. She's starting to boot up. There's my system coming online, and it's going to do its general stuff of checking your CD or your CF cards, both your OS and your game CD. I know I keep calling them CDs, but they're CF cards that are built into the cassette. So you can see the cassette there going just like it needs to be. Going through all its checks. Now I've got this one set up with the Cheeto at home. See that going away down there. Got my printer, got my wheels. Everything is good to go. I'm going to have more videos coming out here soon showing all different kinds of systems, such as my BB2 and my G20s and even my Konami. And I'll even do some videos on my BB1s and possibly even some videos on my S2000s and my S Pluses. That's an S Plus, of course, and then an S2000. But as you see, we're getting there. Everything checked out there, so now it's going to go and continue loading up to the next screen. When you change games, you'll find that a lot of times when it gets to the next screen, they'll be showing error codes, and that's predictable. Later on, I'll do a reboot and I will show you guys what one of the known errors is on the GMEM card, which is where the game goes in. There's actually a little flipper switch right inside of here. If that flipper switch is in the wrong position, then it will not do a proper reset. But in order to clear everything, it's a good idea to flip that switch, boot the machine on, and then immediately flip it back, and then let it boot up completely, and it wipes all the memory out on it. Doing a check on everything. Loading in upgrades to the reels and such, programming to meet this game's needs. There we go. As I said, you'll sometimes get errors. This is showing that a backup memory test is cracked, but it's also telling me to turn the key to the neutral position so that I can do a RAM clear, or you can cancel it. So if I change this to the key and I put it in the neutral position, which is straight up and down, now it comes up with an option. I can either turn it back into the reset position to cancel, or I can click it the other direction, which is straight into the audit mode. So I'm gonna put it into audit mode, and then it drops back into the neutral position, and as you see, it says RAM cleared. And now you just sit here and wait. It's going to try to do its load up process the rest of the way. Okay? Just let it do its thing. Don't turn the machine off. Don't do anything. Just let it do its thing. If you shut the machine down, then you've done it for nothing. There we go. Now it's finally cleared. Shows all my information. It's showing the final loading. As you can hear, bill validator is cycling. It's loading the game, and it'll probably ding at us here in a second. There we go. So now, do our simple touchscreen calibration like we would do any other normal time. And then we hit the spin button to approve it. And please wait. Okay, as you see, it's telling you all these errors because, as you should know, main door's open, main door's open. The mechanical and the optical sensor are both off, and then the security cage is open, which is for our PC. But what we want to do is we want to flip this into audit mode. That's going to take us into our menu. Now we're setting up our game, right? So we're going to go over here to settings. And we're going to go through all of our settings. Hardware settings. I'm going to check and make sure my hopper's off because I do not have a hopper in my machine. No hopper. Make sure that is turned off. I'm going to make sure my coin door switch is disabled because I don't have a coin op in there. All that stuff. So everything's good there, so I can leave that alone. My bill acceptor is enabled for all my bills. I want it for all the bills, to accept all the bills. Okay, so my software settings. And then we got topper illumination pattern, you know, it's set to the game, whatever the game tells it to do. And then LED brightness, and then here is language select. Me personally, I disable that just because I don't need to change languages. And then accelerated stop is enabled. So that's all good. In my audit settings, and this is where you can set up all your credits and all that stuff. But before you set this, go in here, go to your online settings. If you have a Tito, turn that on. Make sure all that is set the way it needs to be for you. Go through whatever system you have set up for your unit. But before we go back to audit settings, make sure you come over to ticket printer and you turn on your ticket printer, okay? Make sure this is up and running. You set that to printer or other, okay? That's where you're putting your money to, the cash to the printer. You don't want it to host because you don't want it to do a cash payout on you, okay? So once you do that, now you can get back over to audit settings. And now the one for ticket pay limits and all that will show up because before that was not there. And then now we can go in here and it shows us what our maximum bet is. And I always set mine to the maximum. Now, again, I'm going to set it to maximum. Okay, see, setting it to max. Now I'm going to go to my ticket payment. Again, set that one to max. Okay, now want that disabled, so I leave that at 0. and then hopper max pay. You want to clear that out. You want that at 0, so that there is no max pay on the hopper. It's just a good thing to have that turned off. The rest of this, all amount paid, but you can do different stuff. Now, the last thing you need to change is down here. Jackpot hand pay limit. It's set for $1,200 right now, which is normal for casinos and stuff. But for me, I wanted it 0 because I want it to be disabled. You can disable it by going to 0. So it's only worried about this $40 million up here. Okay, so all that is set. So I can exit back out of this. And I can go to my basic settings. My coin denomination is 1, and all that. So that's good. Now I can come down to game settings, and this is bet type. It'll tell you how many bet buttons. So usually I like to set it to whatever the thing is. Like mine is set for 10, 5, 3, 2, and 1, which is 10, 5, 3, 2, and 1. So that's perfectly set up. Now there are the options where you could set it for a different one. So if you want to have more of a bet, you can go all the way up to 20 and stuff. But I like to keep mine the way the keyboard should be. We've already done online. That's all set up, ready to go. And then the only other thing is to come over here, and in this menu on my operating system, I can go through my clock and set it. I can do a couple other things. Most of the stuff is not needed. So now, all that is set up. This game does not have a progressive and all that kind of stuff. Now, once I've set everything, if I back out, it's going to say, hey, I need to reboot my machine to save everything. And I'll say yes. So now it's telling me to turn off the machine and turn it back on. So the next part of it is, go ahead and close up your PC, turn the machine off, and then you can turn it back on again, and you can go ahead and close up your door. And she's rebooting, and when she comes back up online, she'll come back up and be perfectly working and ready to go. And it took us less than 15 minutes to go through the whole process, complete setup. Okay, and that's all you need to do. If you have any questions, feel free to message me at any time, and I'll try to help you the best I can. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and keep these machines alive.